Alright, y'all. So what is going on? It has been about 3 or 4 days since the last time y'all saw me down here in the basement. So the last time y'all saw, I got my actual workstation set up, my computer, and where my Xbox are gonna go. So that is currently set up. It does look a little crazy right now because I took the what's called the secretary part of it. I had to handle some business down here, and I had my son with me. So to keep him occupied, sometimes just to make, I put on some music, some cartoons. So I got the TV with the Roku stick just set up on there for now. Y'all know I want my space, even though it's in an unfinished basement. I want my son and my wife to feel comfortable coming down here and hanging out with me when I'm down here acting like some kind of mad scientist. But we already talked about this side a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going into too much detail. It's just a regular desk setup, my laptop, a monitor that is provided for my day job for working from home situations, and then my personal monitor, which is where my Xbox is at. And that's just where all the editing, all the work, and all the gaming are going to happen for the foreseeable future. This side, however, is where I get to make a mess. This is going to be my quote-unquote workbench. This will be my art easel. Anytime I am drawing, painting, tinkering, breaking, it'll be happening on this side. So the last time y'all saw it, I did not have all of my cameras here and set up. I did not have some of my mementos unpacked. A lot of important pictures and stuff were still in boxes. So obviously y'all can see I drilled in some pegboards. Right now the bigger one is being used for just a portion of my favorites of some of the Hot Wheels I've got, you know what I'm saying? Are there any of them worth anything? Absolutely not. But I don't buy the Hot Wheels, so they're worth something. I buy the ones that I like, you know what I'm saying? So of course you got Turk's Toyota 2023 GR from FD with the Rain-X livery kit. That was a legendary livery kit. You got an R33 Skyline. This is the most recent pickup. I've had this for maybe even just a couple days. Honda CRX, Civic. We got this CRX, Civic, 911. What is this one? The 787 Mazda. A few from the BMW series. These are the only 3 I got from this lineup of 8. I'm not a collector, so I'm not really worried about it. I just got the ones that I made sure I liked. There is one that's not here. I have a few that I keep at my day job, at my desk. And of course, we got an Impala. We got a Fair Lady. And then we got, of course, I'm a Subi guy deep down, so I got my Subis, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I've got some more pegboard accessories like cups and stuff to hold like my markers, my pens, my paint brushes, because that's kind of where it's all supposed to go. So for now, I just got random stuff on there, ruler, level, knife, screwdriver, gaffer's tape, and all that, just for now. And then, of course, like notebooks, sketch pads, paper, miscellaneous crap is all kind of tucked under there. And yeah, and then, of course, I've got, you know, my wall of importance, you know what I'm saying? Got these, so pictures of my wife and I from weddings and vacations, a picture of me and my brother when we were kids, you know, me and Slim when we were kids for Halloween. Got a picture of my younger sister. Of course, I got a couple of obituaries from some people real close to me that are no longer with us. And then, of course, I got some paintings that I did. One I did for myself when I was bored, just the Scout Corps sigil, spattered in blood, as you do. I think I did this, 2017. And then this I did for my wife. My wife, her favorite Christmas movie, probably her favorite movie of all time, is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so I painted this for her one year as a Christmas gift when I had zero money and my creativity was all I had to get her something nice. So I painted the part from the original cartoon where his heart grows 10 sizes too big. And yeah, because that is what my boo-boo cakes did for me, you know what I'm saying? But y'all don't care about my relationship. What I'm here for today, and what we're mainly here to show y'all today, is my camera collection. So this is going to be a little bit of a gear video type, you dig, just to show y'all what I use right now. Because what I have is what I like to consider a tasteful but realistic kit for a hobbyist slash prosumer, you know, like as someone who wants to do this for a living, but just does not have the money to just shell out for modern equipment. I feel like the stuff I have is perfect for what I do. And I have created some stunning images with just the cheap and old gear you see here. So we'll start off with my workhorses, the ones that y'all have probably seen the most photos from on Instagram and stuff like that. And then we'll move down to some of the more niche fun cameras, because I like cameras with a vibe. I like cameras that make it fun to shoot. So while none of these cameras are probably practical, especially for someone who shoots motorsports primarily, when I'm out there having fun, it doesn't matter what's in my hands. I'm gonna get a good image. I'm gonna have a blast, and it's gonna be sick. Excuse me. Alrighty, so first up, we got my tried and true Canon 7D. Just the 7D, the Mark 1, not the Mark 2. So shoots 8 frames per second, 18 megapixels, crop sensor, optical viewfinder, you know, old tech, tried and true, but honestly, it's probably the fastest, most reliable camera you can get for under $300, especially nowadays with this camera being so old compared to, you know, what a low-end mirrorless system is. I would take this thing anywhere. I mean, if you've been on YouTube a while and you remember the Digital Rev video where they burned it, they froze it, they threw it down the stairs, they shot it with airsoft guns, and the thing, while it couldn't take a clear image, the button still worked, the shutter button still worked, and that mirror still actuated. So yeah, this is just a beast of a camera, tried and true. You know, I've never once felt like I didn't have just enough to get the shot trackside when using this camera. I love this camera. It is pretty long in the tooth. I've had it for some years now, so it's probably gonna get retired soon, whether I go to like a 1DX body or a new mirrorless system like the R6 series. We shall see. But in the meantime, if you see me trackside with the telephoto, it's probably the 7D. The autofocus, for as old as it is, still pretty damn good. And you know, when I don't get the shot, I don't blame the camera. It's probably me. This camera is good enough where if you didn't get the shot, it'd be tough to blame the camera. It was probably you, dog. All right, the next camera. Now, this is my favorite camera I have right now. This is my Canon 5D Classic, like 12 megapixels, like 3 frames per second. So as someone who shoots motorsport, this is not the type of camera you think would be part of my lineup. The only reason why I even own it is honestly because it was $124 in the condition it was in on mpb.com, and it was my first full frame camera, and it was worth every penny. And I take this to every event and every shoot I do. If every motorsport event I go to, I've got this thing on me. And if it's not a motorsport event, if I need to take a really nice picture, this is the camera I'm pulling out. The 7D only comes out for races. Every other photography thing I do, it's probably on my 5D Classic. It's got that it's got those OG Canon colors, you know, that filmic kind of look that everyone talks about. My favorite thing about this camera, though, is the fact that it's just like it's got this, you know, that cool OG full frame Canon sensor. Takes like that nice kind of, it's got like this warm, very kind of grainy digital image that just looks so good. Some of my best photos that you guys have seen me post in the last 2 years has come from this camera. Like a lot of that set from the Chase Bays event last October that ended up being on Turnpike.com's Backroads article that I shot of the event. So many of those photos were taken on this camera. It's slow. The autofocus is not reliable if you're shooting something going fast, and if you need speed, capability, and technology, this is not the camera. I mean, there's no live view. This screen doesn't activate like you do on any other Canon mirrorless or DSLR system. Like, if you know Canon, you know that when you have the mirror on, when you have the screen on, you can see all your settings, you know, your f-stop, your shutter speed, your ISO, you know, your autofocus system. None of that shows up on this thing. Like, when you press info, when this thing is on, all you get is just that. But the moment you start using the camera, it's gone. There's no live view, there's no video, straight up just for taking pictures. But that's why I bought it, because sometimes I feel like if you focus too much on having, some people focus too much on having good gear and they don't focus enough on getting good with their gear. And that's why, you know, I'm the type of person, I believe gear matters, but not in the sense of having the most up-to-date gear matters. To me, what matters about your gear is what you're comfortable with and what you're going to use to create the most beautiful image the most consistently. But yeah, this is my 5D Classic, my favorite camera in my lineup right now. And when I want to take a really beautiful image, this is my baby. This is what I'm going to. I'll probably never stop having one of these in the lineup, because this thing will probably eventually go out. It's an old camera, but man, do I love this thing. I love this camera. So now we're gonna start moving. Now we're gonna get to my two film cameras. So we're gonna actually do a little unwrapping. Boom. Another Canon camera. Who would have thought? But this is not like my other Canon cameras you've seen. This one, as you can see, is a film 35mm film Rebel camera. This is the Canon EOS Rebel S2, and it is just it's a Rebel. If you're familiar with the Canon lineup of cameras, you know what a Rebel is. A Rebel is the entry-level camera. This thing has just got a few more features from being just like essentially a toy, especially this particular camera. It's light. It's pretty much all plastic, lens mount, plastic, and like if this thing takes a bad fall, it's probably gonna break. But it's a 35mm film camera that, if I recall correctly, I got less for $50 on KEH.com. I've shot film on this camera, but I have yet to get it developed. I actually have years worth of film shot on my two film cameras that I'm going to show you, and none of them have been developed yet. I don't know what an image looks like coming off of this thing, so that'll be a side quest for another day. But yeah, full frame 35mm film camera. It's not that fast. Does have autofocus. Best to just use the center point like you would on like the 5D Classic. But the main reason why I bought something like this was because I wanted a 35mm film camera, but I didn't want to invest in a new lens system. And this particular camera system is an EF mount, which means all of my glass that I already owned, I could use directly onto this camera. For example, the good old nifty 50, which was the main lens I've used on this camera. Boom. So it's the more modern STM, thicker focus ring version. Snaps right on there, and that's like that with any of my Canon glass. and that's the main reason why I bought this. So the next side quest videos you're going to see are going to be about me getting film developed from this and the next camera. But I love this camera. I love having it. It's fun, it's light, it's easy to use. It takes like kind of a unique battery that you can pretty much only find on Amazon. I'm not able to find it in any stores, so that's probably the one downside. And like I said, it is very small, it is very light, and given what I shoot in motorsports, I can't take it everywhere and do everything with it because it will take a beating. But thankfully it's cheap, so there's that. My next film camera right here, the first non-Canon camera y'all have seen so far. Boom. I love this thing. It is my Olympus XA2, not the regular XA. This is one I found in a garage sale. It was posted on Facebook Marketplace. A guy had them at his garage sale. He actually had 2 of them, and I got both of them for like 25 bucks. Super nice family that were selling these. I actually was really tight on money, and even though I didn't get a lot of money, I sold the other one to, I believe it was KEH, and made like 50. It's like either 50 or 60 bucks on a camera that I only spent like, like $15 on, basically. So that was what I did with that. But I knew I was going to keep this one. It even did come with the the flash attachment, but if I don't want the flash, just the camera body, it's a very compact little camera. I love this thing because of how small it is. If I want to shoot film at a race, this is probably what I'm gonna have on me more likely, mainly because of how small it is. So if I have my 5D Classic and my 7D with a telephoto on there, this is probably something I would have in my pocket. Just like it's just a regular 35mm point and shoot. Nothing too fancy about it. Nothing to really write home about. It's just the Olympus XA2. It's a reliable, easy to use point and shoot camera. If you shoot film, you know all about this line of Olympus cameras. We love it. It's a fun camera. Just like my Rebel, I have shot years of film on this camera, but because of circumstances and not really ever having the money to spend on getting film developed and having nowhere for years to develop film myself, I have yet to see an image from this camera. Like I said, it's another set of videos for another time, but honestly, I don't care what the images look like. I love just having it. I love using it. It's such a fun, easy little camera to have. I've had this for years. I'm going to be 31 in a couple weeks. I've had this since I was like 23, 24. Like, I've had this for like 7-8 years now. Love this camera. And yeah, haven't seen an image from it yet because I'm a bad photographer. And film, as much as I love doing film photography, it's just inconvenient for the things I was dealing with at the time. But yeah, love this camera. Alrighty, so that was the last film camera. Now we have pretty much every camera from here on out is more or less kind of just a toy. I firmly believe in having cameras that you think are fun and cameras that make you want to take pictures, not necessarily having cameras that take amazing pictures. Now, this is a camera I really enjoy using because it is digital, so I don't have to worry about, paying to see the photos and getting them developed. It is my Nikon Coolpix 4800 with the 8x3 zoom. What? It's a 6 to 50 millimeter with like a 2.7 to 4.4 variable aperture. This is a fun little point and shoot camera. This was actually given to me. Oh, is it dead? Damn, it's dead. Okay. But this, so yeah, it's dead, unfortunately. And this takes the same battery as the Rebel film camera. So, I always buy these in bulk. But yeah, this is a fun little regular Nikon point and shoot camera. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this before. My most recent post, as of recording this, were actually all taken on this camera. This has kind of taken the place of the Olympus as the kind of fun pocket camera I keep around when I go to races, because it's small, it fits in my pocket. When I go on vacations with my family, this is the camera I bring with me because I like to take pictures all the time, but I don't want to carry a big old camera with lenses, especially when I'm walking around. I have a son. I've got he's only 2. We're carrying a diaper bag, strollers, and sometimes I just want a camera I can slip in the pocket and use when I need it. I love this camera. It's fun. It's cheap. It was a gift from my father-in-law. This was his camera he's had for years. He did not have an SD card reader to get the photos that were on it. So he basically asked me to help him get the photos off the memory card, and in exchange, I basically got to keep the camera. Well, actually, he gave me like 3 or 4 cameras. He had like a whole bucket full. The other ones were not functioning. One of them needed a battery that I could not find. So this was kind of the survivor of the bulk of it, and I have not stopped using it since. I've had this for a few years now, and I love this camera. It's easy to use. It's fun. It does take video, so it's got kind of like a little old school digital camera vibe to it. But yeah, my Nikon Coolpix 4800, love it. Fun camera. Don't care about it as much as I do like my bigger cameras, in a sense of like, I don't try so hard with the photos I take on this. I just take the photos to capture the moment, not necessarily trying to take pretty pictures, just take pictures. And sometimes the pretty pictures just come out. Alrighty, so the last stills camera for today. This was a gift from this most recent Christmas from my wife. Boom. And I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this because I don't know how to say it. The JoJo digital camera. I actually don't know what they actually call it, but obviously it is meant to kind of mimic a Rolleiflex film camera from back in the day. So this is actually a digital camera. Takes a micro SD card. I currently have a SanDisk card in there right now, and it takes just this kind of simple, kind of somewhat vibey digital image. You can put a filters on it to give it more of like a sepia, black and white-ish kind of color tone to it. I prefer to keep it in the full color tone because I feel like it just kind of looks more film-like, whereas the other one clearly looks like a digital filter. But yeah, it's a cheap, not cheap, I don't say cheap, but it was relatively cheap, but it's more of a toy than like a legitimate photography tool. But that's kind of the fun of it. I keep this like in my backpack or on me at work, because sometimes I'll just like to take a pretty image like on the side of the road, and it's just so easy to pull this out of the bag, hit the button, click. And my favorite thing about this camera, aside from the look, aside from the vibe, besides that's just so small, fun, and easy, is that it is a digital camera. So it does record video, and you can set it to a video mode, so you just hit the shutter button to start recording. However, a fun little feature this little toy camera has is you can see this winding wheel here, which I believe on like the real film camera would be how you'd rotate your film maybe, or adjust something. I'm really not sure. But on this, if you start cranking this while you're in still video mode, like I am now, you start cranking it, we are now recording video for as long as I am cranking it. So we just got 10 seconds of video. Once you stop, it does like a little countdown to let you know it's about to stop. And boom, we're now back to still mode, and it's just saved the video. Now, I got excited the first time I saw this feature. I thought it would be kind of like a stop motion kind of thing. I was really hoping that we were snapping pictures with that rotation, and then we're going to kind of like a stop motion, kind of like time-lapse kind of vibe, but no, it does just straight up start recording video. So this will, while it's not like a quality video, it is just like a standard MP4 or MOV file type video with like that little kind of filter, filmic looking filter on it. But yeah, this is a fun camera. It was a gift from my wife. I love it. And yeah, it's just a kind of fun little thing to keep around. I love the novelty of it. I love the size of it. Like I said, it's a toy for having fun making images, not necessarily for creating the best images of my photography career. Alrighty, so that was the last stills camera. Well, technically, no, actually it was not. So then we have, of course, my DJI Action 1. There's nothing special about this camera. It's literally just a DJI Action 1. It's got a circular polarizer on it because we usually mount this to cars, so shooting through windshields and glass, this gives you a cleaner image. I do have a hot shoe mount, super glued to the side of this because sometimes we will mount like microphones, whether it's wireless or wired mics, to it just for better audio. And yeah, nothing fancy about it, just the DJI Osmo Action. Alrighty. Next up for an unwrapping, boom. That's the sticker logo for the wrapping paper. So this is a fun camera. This was also a gift. This was a gift from my mom for my birthday. I believe I can't remember if I was 29 or if I turned 30. But it is just what a lot of people like to call a vibe cam. It is just a generic, no-name video camera. And it was a gift from my mother for my birthday. And I wanted it because I like the kind of old kind of VHS kind of, old digital camera vibe that this film camera gives off. It is really fun to use and simple. If you've held a video camcorder, you know exactly how much you're getting out of this. Now, this particular one is special because I have made some modifications. So about 1 week into owning this camera, the zoom switch actually stopped working, and now it only zooms in. It never widens up. It never zooms back out. So obviously, once I zoom in, I'm kind of stuck. So, oh no, I hit the camera. Oh no, my bad. So yeah, so the zoom switch stopped working. It would no longer zoom back out, and I really was never using this for telephoto work. So what I did instead was I super glued onto the front of this a step down ring, and the step down ring is the same size as this fisheye lens that also has a macro lens attachment. And this actually came from a phone case lens system that kind of made your iPhone for vlogging. Now obviously the iPhone that fit it I hadn't had in years. It was just a part of my random assortment of scrap pile in my room. And so basically I took this step down ring, glued it to here, and now I can screw on this to get an even wider image than the base one. So to give you an example, if you can see on camera here, we're looking at the Hot Wheels. So this is the standard widest length that you can get on this camcorder. So we'll take that, throw that on there, and boom, look how much wider that is. So here, I'll start recording so you can. Boom, so now recording. We'll let it catch. Oh, whoops, the macro lens is still on it somehow. Whoops. All right. So let me put that back on here. So as you can see, we're looking at the cars here. That's the standard lens. I'll take the fisheye wide angle lens. Whoops. I'm gonna put it on here, and boom, so much wider. You can see like the bookshelf and everything where we were just seeing the cars before, so it shows you how much wider it gets. So it does make it fun for like filming, drifting and filming cars. It kind of has like that skateboard, you know, kind of mini DV recording type vibe, which is kind of where media all started for me. It's got a hot shoe mount, so you can't like put a microphone, anything in here unless it was independently recording, but I use it to put a top handle for like low angle shots. But yeah, I really enjoy this camera. It's super fun to use, and like I said, anything fun to use is kind of what I'm all about. Yeah, it's a cool. Bye bye. So yeah, love this camera. It's a fun camera. Thanks, Ma. Alrighty, and now an honorable mention camera. So I do have to give a little context for this particular camera. Boom. The Spider-Man digital camera, previously sold in Aldi stores, some like at least a year, maybe almost 2 years ago now. So let me tell y'all a story about this camera. A couple years ago, my sister-in-law bought a similar camera for her son, my nephew Luciano, and I thought it was just such a cool little camera. One of my favorite superheroes is Spider-Man, and so it records video, you know what I'm saying? You can put little character stickers into the images. It just seemed like a fun little novelty toy, and I planned on taking it to a race that year. The race I planned on taking it to, I did not go to because my wife, my son, and we all got sick, and so it's kind of been sitting in its pack ever since. I have not gotten to use it, so if you guys want to see me use this camera at a race and try to capture motorsport with it, comment down below. Let me know if that's something you want to see, and I will totally take this to like Good Life Midwest Fest. I will open it up just to take it to a race. But yeah, I have it. It's a novelty little fun toy item, and it's something I definitely want to create images with very soon. We just got to find a time and place that'll really push this thing to its limits and have fun with. So yeah, that is the Spider-Man digital camera. Includes 5 games, MP3 capabilities. What? And it comes with the SD card to store up to 1,200 photos. Boy, what? And this was like $11 from Aldi. It was like super cheap. So yeah, that is the Spider-Man camera, and that is the last camera on the shelf. This lighting is not that great, but I don't care. Whew. So yeah, so that was my camera collection as of right now. It's a very cheap, and all those cameras are very affordable. None of those cameras with a lens cost more than $500 as it stands right now. And I don't have an amazing kit. I'm not trying to show off my camera kit, but what I did want to show you by watching, if you watch this video, was that if you see my photos and you see the images I take and you think I take a pretty good image, I want you to see that it's not with expensive gear. You know, gear matters, but what it matters gear matters. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, camera gear doesn't matter, because it does. And, you know, depending on your situation, you need the best, most capable, fastest, high-tech gear you can get. But where I'm at right now in my creative journey, it's just not what I need. I don't make a living from this yet. So when I go out to take an image, even if I'm getting paid, I need to make the shot. Making the shot isn't what's going to mean my mortgage gets paid this month or not. You know, I have a day job that pays my, you know, big boy bills, and anything I get from photography goes right back into photography. And same with like the YouTube and Instagram and all the merch stuff that we do. So for me, I can get away with a camera that's slightly less capable because all I need to be worried about is becoming a better photographer with the gear I have. And I've had all of my gear for so long that I would put my photography skill up against anybody's when I'm using the gear that I'm comfortable with. Not to say that I think I'm better than anybody else, but when I have the gear I'm used to in my hands, I'm confident that I can take a nice image. That is the kit I used to shoot Subscibe Fest Midwest last year here in Chicago, and I got paid for that gig. So, and they were happy with the images. So it's not about the gear you have, it's about being good with what's available and what's available to you, and just getting the best that you can with what you got. So if you like this video and this video inspired you to go out and make images with any kind of camera, whether it's an old pro camera or a cheap toy camera, you know, go out there and just make stuff, have fun with it, enjoy your stuff for the sake of enjoying it. You know, not everything's got to be about algorithms, followers. And honestly, even just the simple act of taking pictures doesn't have to be always about taking a good picture. Sometimes you should just be going out and taking pictures for the sake of going out and taking pictures. And that's always kind of my whole vibe, is always kind of doing things for the sake of enjoying it and not always because it's to the benefit of anything. You know, I've been doing photography a long time, and for as long as I've been doing it, not making money from it, some of the reasons for that are circumstantial, and just, you know, having to take care of responsibilities over quote unquote following your dreams. But that would imply that photography is only a potential career for me, and it's not. It's a hobby, an art, and an interest that I deeply enjoy and care for deeply. So even if for the rest of my life I never get to make a living taking pictures, I'm never going to stop using a camera and taking pictures for the sake of doing it, because I just enjoy doing it. Hopefully I get to do it for a living one day, but regardless, I have a good job, my bills get paid, my family's taken care of, and then on weekends, if I'm lucky, I get to go out and I get to take pictures of cars. And I'm just lucky that I get to do that. And I'm lucky that I get to sit here and do this now in my own basement studio. So I can't wait for everything that I'm going to be making here now. I have worked on a new editing and shooting schedule to try to not put out a lot of YouTube videos, but to try to just figure out how I can be more consistent without burning out while still working my day job, being a husband and a father, and, you know, having people in my life that need my time and attention. But yeah, 2026 is off to a good start. I've got my home studio mostly done and set up. We'll have one more final part to this basement studio series, which we'll start shooting next week, because I've got some things I got to pick up from my dad's house that is still there that I need to bring here to kind of round out the setup and kind of fill a few things in. The next video will also talk about the lenses that I have here at the house, because I know you guys saw those back there in this video. I did purposely not mention them, so the next video we'll talk about lenses. If you want to see the lenses I use on those camera bodies, then definitely tune in for the next one. Also, keep an eye out. Full Metal Canvas is making a full comeback in 2026. So like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram at cxe.jojo. Follow Slim on Instagram at cxe.slim. Follow our main Instagram at ig.createandconquer. And please, please, please visit our website at www.createconquer.com. Check out our content page and see our library of Full Metal Canvas episodes. Check out our merch store and see some of the shirts and hats that we drew and designed ourselves. They are print on demand, so there is a little bit of wait time for them. So anyone who gets one, I love and appreciate you so much for that. And definitely make sure you go and check out just everything else on our site. You know, I did a lot of work in kind of updating some stuff and changing some things out to kind of represent the reorganization that kind of Create and Conquer was going through as we kind of step back from full-fledged media production and kind of step back into more just focusing on photography and getting better at storytelling. So thank y'all so much for watching. Stay tuned for the last and final part 3 of the basement studio build. Be good, be nice to each other.
I don't regret All the time that I spend counting blessings, I don't give a fuck about who next. Till I fuck my whole check up in this bitch. I recluse for the time being. Off these cups that there ain't much else to see. And them whole scene flocking on the fucking net whole time. Stomping on these niggas next. I got plenty time, I might stall it out. I got money signed, she might fuck me now. I got all the time left in the world, let the world know how I'm coming out. I got time, don't have time, and I don't have life. All I ask for you is just to say